And today I also have some flowers for you, Penguin Beaches, because we are so sorry that we didn't get to go live, or we were live, but we showed you a black screen yesterday. We're excited that you can see me today, and we're going to look at some penguins to start off our show. So I bought these flowers yesterday for myself, and then after watching the show I thought I would bring them to the show and we talk about these flowers because they are my absolute favorites, and they are called pincushions. But just a reminder that we're a live show and we're doing things a little bit differently. So if you would love to talk to us, then what you're going to do is you're going to go to our channels page and you're going to register on our website, pop onto wildearth.tv/questions. There's a pie kingfisher, new bird on the show, Sorry guys, very exciting. So we have a little pie kingfisher to show you. Yay! What an epic way to start the show, Penguin Beaches. So what an amazing way to start the show. Really wasn't expecting to see a pied kingfisher. So you can register on our website if you'd like to submit any questions or comments or stories. But you could also scan the QR code at the bottom of your screen. It'll take you to where you need to be. And I'm so happy we got to show you this kingfisher. I saw it for the first time the other day, and I've been so hoping to get it on the show. He's just gone down. He's just gone into the water again. I think he might have caught something. And these are the very same pied kingfishers that you would get in Djuma. So they love to live along the sea too, and they feed in the small intertidal pools. You'll see them in some of the harbors. And you can see it's a beautiful day down here. It's just a little bit windy, but otherwise quite lovely. And he's got a fish. And he's hitting the fish against the rock. Do you think he's trying to kill it, Flippy? This is insane. So Flippy's telling me that this pied kingfisher is trying to kill the fish so that it doesn't open its fins inside the mouth and inside the throat. This is incredible. This is absolutely incredible. I've never seen this before, and I've watched kingfishers all my life. I'm so glad you're all loving this as much as what we are. There we go, that's down. What a fantastic start. Not only do we have a new species on Penguin Beach, we got to see this very clever little bird prepare his lunch before he swallowed it. And now he's cleaning his bill on the rock. That was so cool. This is the best pied kingfisher sighting I've ever had in the Western Cape, by a long shot. And I see them quite often.
My name is Michelle Duplessis, and I'm the Managing Director of the Field Guides Association of Southern Africa. I'm one of the judges this year, and I'll be judging the game drive category, as well as hospitality, professionalism and storytelling. I really look forward to seeing everybody again this year, and obviously to meet the incredible contestants.
your trekking is very good. What is the starting trekking? Just track the leopard. You walk a little bit, you stop. You starting checking, keep your hands, your neck up, okay, your eyes. Listen for the birds. You follow the leopard. The leopard should see you first. You lose. Talk next year.
Luna, so kingfishers come in a stunning array of colours. So the prettiest little kingfisher in South Africa is called the malachite kingfisher, and they usually sit on waterways in places like Djuma. So I don't often see them on a dam or on a full river, although actually in this area we see them there. So maybe we can challenge the safari guides to try to find you a malachite kingfisher, because then you'll see that they are brightly coloured. They've got a bit of orange, they've got a bit of blue. My personal favourite kingfisher is the woodland kingfisher because it's my birthday bird. So they arrive back, or supposedly arrive back, around the 3rd of November. So I grew up thinking it was my birthday bird, and they are blue. They've got this beautiful light blue, and they've got white on them with this bright red beak. So kingfishers come in so many different colours. In the Western Cape we get the pied kingfisher, the black and white one. We also get the giant kingfisher, which is black and white. It's got a bit of bronze on it. And then in Kruger, in Djuma, where the rest of our team are, you'll have all of our other kingfisher species, and really very spectacular. You also get the half-coloured kingfisher that is very beautiful. It looks a little bit like the malachite. I don't have my bird book with me today, but tomorrow maybe I'll just show you what they look like just for funsies, or I'll hand it over to someone at Safari today. They can show you in their bird book. But some of the kingfishers eat fish, and many, like the woodland kingfisher, my favourite, don't eat fish. They actually eat little bugs and things, so they'll live inland. But we are looking at a different type of kingfisher, the king of fishing here, these African penguins. And what I want to show you, I want to show you this quite quickly. Melia, so we are ready to waddle, but I want you to watch something quickly, because the crazy eights have been causing a bit of trouble down here in the left wing. So the crazy eights are fledging, so they open up their wings, which absolutely terrifies the penguins. So the reason why the penguins are isolated on Convict Island is because the crazy eights scared them there. And so as the crazy eights lift up their wings, they must look a bit terrifying, and it causes all the penguins to run and bundle up. So they did it just before the show, and I'm hoping we might get another view. And I find it's full circle, because the penguins were terrorizing these poor ducklings when they were small by swimming underneath them, trying to peck at them. So we'll see if they will do this for us. Just going to keep both parties in our view. Levi, in a sense it's heartbreaking because they're not going to be with us much longer, but I also think it's really an amazing tale of success, because we started off with 9 crazy eights, and they're called crazy eights because I could not count, and we still have 9 ducklings in front of us. And I think that that is really testament to Mark and Cleo's awesome parenting. They really have done such a fantastic job.
The Safari Guide of the Year 2022 is approaching us rapidly. This year, we'll be heading to Bushwise Field Guides at the Southern African Wildlife College from the 27th June till the 2nd of July. We will soon meet all our contestants who are vying for the prize of being the very best of the best, and the judges who will put them through their paces. Join me, Steve Falconbridge, as we dream it, guide it, win it.
If you would like to be a part of the team that shares the wildebeest migration in Kenya live on WildEarth, then we have some great news for you. There are a few places left to join our expeditions in August and September this year. You'll be staying in an exclusive tented camp with ensuite bedrooms nestled in the riverine woodlands of the Talek River. Head over to our website to book your bucket list experience today. WildEarth Expeditions. Travel with purpose.
So we're keeping our eyes on the crazy eights and the penguins to see if there might be some trouble brewing. Doesn't look like it just yet. We've got some lovely preening happening with these chicks, these ducklings. You can see they're giving their feathers a lovely shake. And the one just flapped his flippers and he's caused the penguins to go a little bit, or his wings rather, and the penguins then reacted somewhat slightly. So we're just going to take a wide view for a moment. And I want to go back to one of the questions we had yesterday about the Cape Cormorants. So I'm just watching this parent goose to see what they're up to. But the question was, do the Cape Cormorants like to use greenery in their nests? And I actually didn't. I thought that they didn't. But then I was speaking to Lynette, who is one of our penguin heroes down here at Penguin Beach. She is always the first one to help if there's any penguins in trouble. So we had a penguin that we found yesterday, and so I was chatting to Lynette, and she says that the Cape Cormorants love the greenery so much, so they'll go and they'll take June spinach and other greenery from the nesting area, and it actually becomes a problem for the penguins, because what they'll do is they'll strip the greenery above African penguin nests, and then what they actually have to do to manage this colony properly is that Cape Nature has to go and put greenery inside the nesting area so that the cormorants can pick that up and leave the penguin nests alone. So I thought that was extremely interesting, and that's a modern problem for these birds, because what used to happen is that I guess the greenery would be left to the Cape Cormorants and the African penguins would burrow into the guano that the Cape Cormorants had accumulated. So most birds will have nests of dry material, but it was incredible to learn yesterday that the Cape Cormorants love the green material and they like to use it in their nests, and they will steal happily from our penguins nesting here. But thank you very much for that question yesterday. I learnt something new. It seems that this is a cold war, nothing is happening. So what we might do is we might visit another bird on the seashore who is having a nap on the rocks. We've got an African black oystercatcher. And you can see this oystercatcher is still awake, but trying to relax. The Egyptian geese are causing a racket here. We've got two families of geese on the shoreline, and the other is not very happy with the chicks around. So they are making a big noise. So I think we'll go and have a look at this duo who are causing all the noise and all the trouble. adult Egyptian geese. Sorry, no, we've got four adult Egyptian geese on the seashore.
Please join me this coming Sunday evening after the Sunset Safari, that's the 26th of June, where I'm going to be doing a town hall to tell you all about the latest locations that are being added on to WildEarth, as well as answer your questions. Just go to wildearth.tv, make sure you're registered, and have your questions ready.
So Mark is defending his territory now. He's fighting with another male Egyptian goose, and the chicks are now going to join in. This is incredible. This is absolutely incredible. If you'd like to so this is incredible what we're seeing. We're watching the fight. Cleo has chased her ducklings back, so the ducklings want to join in, and Cleo keeps chasing them back so that they don't get into the fight. We'll just take a wider view and you'll see how she chases the chicks. So this is an extremely vicious fight that we're watching now. And if you want to send us any comments about this, you can just scan that QR code, or you could register on the website. So Cleo tried to get involved now, and you see how the chicks make their way back. So she's telling the chicks to walk away. And the chicks keep coming back. France, I completely agree. I've never seen this before. Cleo's getting involved again. She wants to break it up. Just not letting go of each other. There is chaos down here. Look at the chicks, look at this. This is mad. Look at the chicks going and trying to get involved. We are all rooting for Mark here. It's amazing how the chicks won't leave their dad. Moon dust? It really is. Jared's, our director, was also saying he didn't think it would be this violent. See how they hit each other with their wings? I think it's like, are they kicking each other? No. I don't know how long they could keep this up for. This is absolutely mad. The other goose's partner has just disappeared. She's left her man in his time of need. How awful. He's got no support, this man. And Mark is fighting for his family. Oh, you can see blood now. What was that blood? Looks like it. Oh no. Watch the penguins, watch the penguins, watch the penguins. Watch the penguins. There is chaos on the seashore today. Absolute chaos down here. The ducklings don't know where to be or what to do. Everyone's being chased. The parents are on high alert. Aurora, honestly, I'm not sure. The violence of that makes me think it might. I don't know which one is, I don't know if Mark is still with the chicks now, if this other goose that's walking towards us, I think this is the troublemaker. What's his name? What are we going to call him, Flippy? It's got to be a villain's name. Igor is a bit of a villain's name. We won't do that. But I'm just thinking, because Igor could be like a very commanding villain's name. He's upset. Look, he's mumbling to himself as he walks away. His pride has been wounded.
My name is Juan Pinto. I'm here for Safari Guide of the Year. I'm one of the judges. One of the categories in the competition is the walk, or the on-foot experience as you call it. And it's kind of the leveler. It's the experience that really, really is important for a guide to have, to be able to take people safely into the environment on a walk.
Here at WildEarth, we promised great monthly prizes for our explorers, and this month is no exception. If you join our club before the 10th of July, then you stand a chance to win a fabulous Safari Guide online course brought to you by Bushwise Field Guides. They specialize in accredited safari guide training with courses tailored for the African safari lodge industry. Sign up to be a WildEarth explorer today and don't miss out on this life-changing opportunity. Arctic Circle, I can completely relate. So I thought it was blood on the neck,
but I'm very happy to say that actually both of these geese, it looks like it's just coloration, it's just their feathers that I hadn't noticed in that particular spot before. Mark is okay, everyone. We've had a good look over. Mark is perfectly fine. He protected his territory, he protected the kids. I don't think I've ever seen a battle like this before. I think that when I was very young, we once watched hyenas and wild dogs fight like this outside of Olifant's camp in the Kruger. And I think this is the closest I've come to seeing something like that. But it was so dramatic because you had all the little ducklings and they were running up and down, and they were very not clever, that's very bad English. They were very stupid to be going towards the fight. They should have been running away, but at times Cleo would chase them away and then they'd all just come running back. And then when they all ran across past the penguins got a horrific fright. And then they just kept running up and down, and so there were just like ducklings everywhere. The penguins were very upset. I'm sure you all got to see how all the penguins bundle together, and I think that's what they do when there's threats, is they just bundle together like this, and they try and put on a united front. I'm on such a sightings high after that. That was really intense. I think that's the most intense moment I've ever had on Penguin Beach. Nothing has come remotely close to this. All the Juma boys are going to be jealous, I'm sure. They're going to be jealous of this sighting. Danielle, I'd read about it. Oh, so it looks like the tip of the wing might have a bit of... Do you see a bit of damage there, Flippy? So Flippy's saying the tip... Oh, there we go. It just looks like a little blood. I see it there. So on the left, I think it's the left wing. Oh, the right wing. Sorry, my left and right are difficult. So on the wing there, you can see just a touch of blood. So Flippy says if they break a wing or if they hurt a wing, it might end in death, these fights. Henry, I think that you are right. The bad guy's name is Julius. We've done it. He's named. I don't know how we'll know it's him. But Julius is still on the rocks licking his wounds. He doesn't have a family to go home to. His partner left. She saw the first sign of trouble and she curtailed out of here.
Hi, I am David. I come to you live from the Mana Triangle, all the way from Kenya.
This is not a postcard. This is real. Sunrise in the beautiful Masai Mara.
I've been fortunate to be working in the guiding industry for about 26 years now. I've also been fortunate enough to do 9 years of the 10 years as one of the judges, and the particular components that I do is the walking and the shooting exercises. If you're going to be the winner, it's important to become an ambassador for the field guide industry and competitors in the future.
Moonbeam Smith, I think that is a very good theory. They didn't hire the right goose to do the job, but this is the wife, this is the fair weather wife who has come back. I wonder if she's scolding him for losing or if she's wanting to support him. It doesn't look like it to me. We are watching a domestic dispute between Egyptian geese. But I think Moonbeam Smith is onto something. I think that these penguins have had it out for the Crazy Eights and Mark and Cleo for a very long time now, and I think perhaps after this morning saga where the chicks are now terrorizing the penguins, they decided to outsource someone who might be able to take on Mark. We all know that if you want to get a job done, you get it done by yourself. It's the only way to do it properly. What an incredible scene down here at Penguin Beach today. So if you didn't get your daily dose of Penguin Beach mayhem yesterday, I hope that this more than made up for it. Everyone's going to be so jealous of us, Flippy. Byron's going to be sad, Eagle's going to be sad, Jason's going to be sad. And this is a real thing when you work with wildlife. You get sightings FOMO. If somebody has a really good sighting without you, you sometimes get a little bit upset. And sometimes you get ignored if you're the one who had the good sighting. And Flippy is saying he actually thinks that Julius won. What makes you say that? Because Julius is here? Ah. So Flippy is saying he thinks Julius was the winner and Mark and Cleo are moving off. But they stuck around for a bit. Maybe they, right at the end there, maybe they decided where the line was. Because he looks a little bit more sorry for himself as he skulked away. But his partner really didn't go, she didn't go check on him. She still hasn't been near him. And Cleo, I'm sure you all saw, Cleo was getting involved. Cleo was trying to help. This other lady goose was not interested at all. So interesting. I've seen the geese chase each other before, but never an actual fight. I think we're going to give them a break and have a look at our penguins, who are still on Convex Island, and they are feeling the water slowly rising. But it's so funny that the penguins hate how the geese come up with when their wings are up, because they've given those ducklings trouble since they first arrived in the left wing. And yet, as a herd of ducklings rushes towards them, the penguins get a massive fright. And it seems like all we want to show you is death and destruction today. We have another... Is this a fight or is this a kind of interaction? This looks like a kind of interaction. We're showing you a little bit of love on the seashore.
And coming up in first place and officially named Bilo is Heart's Cub.
So in honor of that incredible sighting, if you have any stories that you'd like to send through on our website about cool battles you've seen in nature, you're welcome to do that. Moondust, I love your name. They were fighting about territory. So I think that Julius and partner wanted to move further into the left wing. They were in the outer wing, which I've just named. I'm naming lots of things these days. So they were in the outer wing, and it seemed that they wanted to come a little bit closer into the left wing, and Mark was having none of it. And you could see them sort of hanging around on the edge, and Mark was watching them. And then as soon as they crossed an invisible boundary to us, then Mark moved over and started to fight with Julius. So they are fairly territorial. And you'll see, even if other Egyptian geese fly over, quite a big scene about it. They don't want other geese in their area. But if you would like to send us in a story about your epic battles that you've seen in nature, if you go onto the wildearth.tv/questions page, then you're able to send it through there. And then you could also scan that QR code on your screen. And I mentioned yesterday, if you're technology and apps like I am and you don't have a great phone, if you go into your Google Lens, so Google's got that funny little lens that you can take a photo with, and then it'll take you to the right place if your phone camera doesn't pick up the QR code. I'm looking at some sacred ibis now. Got lots of different birds around today. And I do wonder, because mammals like to watch other mammals. We're curious about other animals and what they're doing. But I do wonder if the birds notice a fight of another species, and I wonder if they take note and if they think about it, if they notice that it's happening. Perhaps not. Perhaps they just enjoy themselves as long as something doesn't involve them. If they don't get involved, or they don't worry too much about it. Arctic Circle. So here we don't have a particular vet or a particular system for birds that are not classified as seabirds, but more often than not you will find someone. So if we had to see one of the geese being very injured, then I would let Gavin and I would let Sandkop know, and they might try to find someone who would try to look after one of the injured geese. So you do have some places along the coast that do try to deal with wild birds that have broken wings or other issues. But it's not, if I'm being very honest, it's not something that has its own sort of channel that's followed. So with the seabirds, you would contact Sandcob or Cape Nature directly, and there's a channel for it, there's a system. With other wild birds, often we do let nature take its course. I've never found a wild bird that was injured personally, so I'd still have to go through that process here at Betty's Bay. But I know that Byron's mother-in-law, Wiley, is very passionate about these birds, and she's very passionate about birds in general. And so what she will often do, if she does find an injured bird, she will raise them back to good health. And Byron, of course, does live in Betty's Bay. And Wiley watches the show quite often. So after me saying all of this, I'm very sure Wiley would come down and help one of these geese. We've gone to two penguins who are making their way out of the left wing.
The Safari Guide of the Year 2022 is approaching us rapidly. This year, we'll be heading to Bushwise Field Guides at the Southern African Wildlife College from the 27th June till the 2nd of July. We will soon meet all our contestants who are vying for the prize of being the very best of the best, and the judges who will put them through their paces. Join me, Steve Falconbridge, as we dream it, guide it, win it.
If you would like to be a part of the team that shares the wildebeest migration in Kenya live on WildEarth, then we have some great news for you. There are a few places left to join our expeditions in August and September this year. You'll be staying in an exclusive tented camp with ensuite bedrooms nestled in the riverine woodlands of the Talek River. Head over to our website to book your bucket list experience today. WildEarth Expeditions. Travel with purpose.
After all the drama, the penguins have been able to settle again. I would give that to the gulls and maybe the giant petrel. So the giant petrel is like the vulture of the ocean. They're super aggressive, but from what I've seen here, the sub-Antarctic skua, which is a gull, it's a large brown gull, and I've actually seen two skuas grab a juvenile kelp gull and push it down into the water and drown it. So I would say sub-Antarctic skua or giant petrel. What would you say, Flippy? Flippy would agree with me. They are really quite violent. And Kathy Lee is saying that Julius Caesar's first wife was Cornelia. So we're going to have Cornelia and Julius living on the outer left wing, it seems. I must admit, I don't know very much about Julius Caesar. I love history, but I've stayed sort of very much in African history and then the more recent of history, the last 200 years worth of world events. Might have to go and do a bit of reading. Can't believe the day that we've had. I'm going to do a very quick show, and it's not shell really because it's flowers, so it's a flower season advent of the common pincushion. And these pincushions grow in this area, so they grow from Kuckelberg, which is where we are, and they grow in the Overberg. So these are my absolute favorite flowers that I know that they don't look traditional, but I've just always found them so beautiful. And every single one of these little bits, these little orange bits, that's an individual flower. And so they flower in the winter months here, in the rainy season. And they are pollinated by things like sugarbirds. They could be pollinated by scarab beetles, sunbirds. And they produce these little seeds that are carried by ants under the ground. And after fire, when the adult plants have burned down and added nutrients to the soil, then the seeds will actually germinate. But it's a beautiful thing to see along the Cape Coast in winter. And you can buy them from sustainable shops, so you can buy them from shops that harvest them sustainably. I just think that they are the prettiest of flowers. I find them prettier than the actual proteas. There's over 30 different species of pincushion, but I love these bright orangey, pinky ones. So I thought we'd just give you a quick view of those. I think we'll talk more about them tomorrow. I will bring one to the show. They are living in my house at the moment, but I'll be sure to bring one with. And spend our last 10 minutes looking at our penguins, seeing if we'll have any action from them.
Please join me this coming Sunday evening after the Sunset Safari, that's the 26th of June, where I'm going to be doing a town hall to tell you all about the latest locations that are being added on to WildEarth, as well as answer your questions. Just go to wildearth.tv, make sure you're registered, and have your questions ready.
Ruth, that's a lovely question. I have not. So the only other country that I've been out of Southern Africa is actually the country of the Seychelles. But I would really love to. I'd love to go down to South Georgia, go down to Antarctica, to the peninsula. I'd love to go and see the Galapagos. And then, of course, New Zealand and Australia. All of these outlying islands I'm so fascinated by because the life is so different on these islands. And, you know, most of the other penguin species, because they are island birds, they don't have a natural fear of humans. So my career hasn't taken me too far just yet. But I once had a couple on the boat that had seen, I think they'd seen 16 of the 17 species of penguin. And so they traveled the whole world to see them, and I thought that was so cool. But I do hope that I will be exploring those outlying areas at some point in my life. I'm not sure which the first one would be. I guess the closest for us would be somewhere like Marion Island, which is not a tourist island. It's mostly researchers that go there. But they've got king penguins on Marion. They've got some rock hoppers, I believe. But that's the thing about the ocean. When I wanted to work in the bush, I only ever wanted to travel Africa because those were all the animals that I wanted to see. And then as soon as you start working with oceanic animals, you want to see the counterparts of all of the animals that you see. So you want to see all the different penguins, all the different seals, all the different whales and dolphins, the different sharks, the different tropic birds. And so falling in love with the ocean expanded my world so much, because now I want to go everywhere and see everything. But I'd always come back to this. I'd always come home to the Overberg. Because I'm not sure I could ever love any other penguins like I love our African penguins, or any other coastline quite the way I love the Overberg. And I've got news from the safari lands. So Rexon is looking for Queen T and the cubs. Lauren is super excited to be at Amakhala, so she's looking for all the different species, and she's hoping for cheetah or brown hyena. I've never seen a brown hyena, so I'd be super jealous if she gets to see one today. Rolf is going birding. Maybe he can find us some kingfishers. It's not really the right time of year to find all the kingfishers, but he could have a look for some perhaps. Chris is looking for open areas for his walk. And Liam is heading over to Simbali to see what's happening there. That seems to be Liam's spot. He seems to like going in that direction. So there's a lot going on during safari today. I think we've had an epic show down here. We got to see a pied kingfisher for the first time.
WildEarth. WildEarth have really inspired me to return to South Africa after having followed so many beautiful characters. This Ticket to Dream has given me a great opportunity to meet the WildEarth team, which I thank. They're all amazing. I love all of the characters, but I do have a particular passion for leopards. It's a dream, and as I said before, I just keep on pinching myself. Am I really here?
The iconic Masai Mara in Kenya is a boundless wilderness bursting with life. Every year, more than 1 million animals stream onto the plains, and this year, WildEarth will be there for Africa's great wildebeest migration. This astonishing spectacle will feature in Safari Live twice a day, allowing you to travel instantaneously to this natural wonderland. Join us in August for some migration madness.
Elijah, so that's a good question. So I don't know any other family that does it. It's just my family. So I think my mom came up with it, and it was the bird that arrives closest to your birthday. And for me, it was the woodland kingfisher, and for my brother, it was the what's the red bee-eater, man? The car. How can I not remember it? The car something bee-eater. And then my sister's born in April, so my sister actually doesn't have a birthday bird, so that wasn't really fair to her, thinking about it now. But we used to just go to Kruger in the summer months, and my mom would always say, that's your birthday bird, and that's Carmine Bee-eater. Thank you, Jared. My mind went completely blank. So my brother's birthday bird is the Carmine Bee-eater. So in theory, if you want your own birthday bird, you want to look at when that bird arrives, or when birds arrive in your country or in a place that you visit. And then you create your own birthday bird. So, because I believe the woodlands are an intra-African migrant, so they'll come down at the beginning of summer. A lot of these migratory birds, they start to stay, so you actually get resident woodland kingfishers in Kruger, so now they stay all year round. But I like the idea, so I've just kept it. I've just kept the fact that this is my bird and my birthday bird. But certain birds arrive, I think, earlier than other birds in the season. So one of the first birds that you hear often in summer in South Africa is the Diedrich cuckoo, the Diedrichie. And when you hear the Diedrich, you know that that's the sound of summer and that it's arrived. And we also get the Diedrichies down here. You don't hear them quite as often, but up north, you'll hear them throughout the summer, they'll call. But it is nice to have a birthday bird, and I recommend creating one for yourself and for your kids, unless they're born in winter, because that's a bit tricky. But in winter, we have the sub-Antarctic skua that arrives, so you could go to your oceanic birds. And I might actually tell my sister that. I think I might assign my sister, she's the 27th of April. The skuas are in March, so that's a bit late. I might give my sister an albatross, actually. That would be a nice thing to do for her. Maybe I'll give her the shy albatross as her official birthday bird. Never thought about that before. So here in the winter we see more pelagic seabirds, because sub-Antarctica is not worth being in at the moment. It's very stormy and very, very difficult to hang around. Nadia, early January, we've got a cattle egret that we're going to go have a look at quickly for the end of the show. Nadia, what I want to do is I'm actually going to research that and get back to you. I think by January a lot of the summer birds are already here. Because we always used to go birding in January, and then that's when we would spot them. But I'll have a look and see if there's anything that arrives as late as January, and I will get back to you tomorrow. We could also ask the guys in Safari. We could check their bird knowledge and see what they say.
Here on WildEarth, we love it when you interact with our guides while they are live. In order to do this, you must head over to wildearth.tv/questions and submit your questions, comments, and suggestions. Simple as that. And to make it even simpler, from time to time, you will see a QR code on your screen. Open your camera phone and scan this code, and it will take you straight to where you need to be. We look forward to answering your questions on this channel. The Masai Mara in Kenya, a remote landscape where wilderness reigns. Its inspirational beauty captivates the hearts of many around the world. This year, from August, WildEarth is leading a number of unique expeditions to follow Africa's greatest wildebeest migration here in the Masai Mara. And now, the remaining places have been discounted by 20%. Head over to our website to find out.
So we are looking at yellow socks. We were looking at a cattle egret, and then that one flew away. So we went back to the little egret, which is a lot taller, I think, than the cattle egret. A lot more slender. I'm very glad that my brother is in Botswana now, because he wouldn't have heard that I messed up his birthday bird on the show. But we have had the most fantastic time with you all today. It's been such an exciting show. We've had that fight with Mark and Julius. We got to see the pied kingfisher. Luca, thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in, guys. I'm so glad that we got to share this with you. I'm so glad that we were able to be live and show you all of these incredible things down here at Penguin Beach today. I think this is likely one of my best days down here for action. We couldn't have asked for a better way to spend our Sunday, with all of these animals showing off their best and sometimes their most brutal. So Flippy and I are going to be back with you tomorrow. I'm here until Wednesday. On Thursday and Friday, you will very luckily have Byron joining you. He's going to talk about iridescent Cape Cormorant feathers, hopefully do some fables for you. I think it's time for us to say goodbye. So on behalf of Flippy and I, thank you so much for being with us today. Thank you for your comments, your questions, and for spending your afternoon down at Penguin Beach. Enjoy the rest of your day, everyone.